Alright guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about who will win the NL Central Division this season and talk about all the teams, what they've done, and also who I feel could be the starting lineups for all the teams. Houston, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Milwaukee, Chicago, and Cincinnati. So here you go. We're going to start off from the bottom. Who I feel finished in 6th place this year is the Pittsburgh Pirates with a record of 65-97. Last year, the Pirates finished in 4th place, but I feel like there's just too much good competition right now between Cincinnati, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Chicago that they're just not going to get it done this year. They did pick up 2 good deals in the offseason. They picked up Casey McGee from the Brewers to play third base for Jose Vera, and they also picked up pitcher A.J. Burnett from the New York Yankees, which was huge for them to bolster that starting rotation for pitchers Diego Manero and Excardo Quiones. The Pirates have a pretty decent team with players like Burnett, Andrew McCutchen, and now Casey McGee, but I just feel like that rotation bullpen will be the downfall of this team this season, and I just feel like they're going to finish in last place this year. Here's my opening day lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I got Rod Barajas at catcher, A.J. Burnett being your number 1 starter and pitching, Nick Evans at first, Neil Walker at second, third base will be newly acquired Casey McGee, Clint Barmas at short, Jose Tabata at left field, Andrew McCutchen is always in center, and Jones Garrett in right field. Next, we got the Houston Astros, who I feel will finish in 5th place this year. Some of you may or may not know this is the Astros' last season in National League Central. After this year, they will be moving to the American League West in 2013. I feel like they'll finish in 5th place with a record of 73-88. First, the Astros have a decent starting rotation with J.A. Happ and Livan Hernandez, who they did pick up in the offseason. They also have veterans like Brett Myers, Bud Norris, and their ace, Wandy Rodriguez. The fielding positions are a mix of young and old. As always, you got Carlos Lee in the outfield and just a bunch of young guys who I feel are going to take a little time for them to get used to the major leagues and get this team up to snuff. My opening day lineup for the Houston Astros right now I feel is catcher Humberto Quintero, Wandy Rodriguez pitching, first base Brett Wallace, second base Joe Thurstons, third base Matt Downs, shortstop Joel Lowry, left field is always Carlos Lee, Jason Bourgeois in center field, and Fernando Martinez in right field. And really the only good move the Astros did make in the offseason again was picking up free agent pitcher Livan Hernandez. I just still don't think that's going to be enough for this club to make a move in the division. Next, we got the Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati had finished 3rd last season. It was a great season to see the Reds up there after winning the division 2 years ago. Right now, I have them finishing 4th place with a record of 79-83. The Reds made some good offseason trades, which included picking up Sean Marshall from the Cubs for pitcher Travis Wood. They also traded young Edison Volquez to San Diego for pitcher Mike Leake. I don't know about that trade. Edison was a great pitcher for the Reds, young, good arm. And from people I talked to that are Cincinnati fans, Travis Wood was also a great pitcher for them, but it looks like that trade's going to work out for the Cubs and the Reds. On the infield, the Reds picked up Wilson Valdez in a trade with Philly for Jeremy Holst. In the outfield, the Reds did sign free agent left fielder Ryan Ludwig, who, as you know, previously played with the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a great pickup for them. Again, they're going to finish in 4th place with a 79-83 record. Here's my opening day starting lineup. You got pitcher Johnny Cueto starting, Ryan Hannigan catching, Joey Votto as always at first, Wilson Valdez at second, Paul Jarnish at short, Scott Rowland at third, left field you got Ryan Ludwig, center field Drew Stubbs, and in right field you got young Jay Bruce. Next, your Chicago Cubs. I really feel like the Cubs are going to finish 3rd this season with a record of 82-80. They're just not going to get it done this year. I still think that with Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer coming in, it's going to take a little bit for this team to get going. Especially with their salary cap going down next year, they can really go out and spend some money and get some veteran leadership for this team. And also with Dale Swain coming in as his first season as a Major League Manager, his first full season, I just feel like they're going to finish in third place with a 82-80 record. I got starting day lineup. You got Matt Garza at pitcher, Giovanni Soto catching, Ian Stewart at third, Castro at short, Darwin Barney at second, Brian LaHare at first, Soriano in left, Bird in center, and Tony Campana in right field. Next is the reigning division champion Milwaukee Brewers. The offseason for the Brewers were in the news for two reasons, one good, one bad. Most of you know that Prince Fielder was a free agent. They were not able to sign him. He did go to the American League Central with the Detroit Tigers where his dad played. No big deal for the Brewers. He's out of the division. They don't have to worry about him. Right now, the other story, of course, is Ryan Braun and the steroid issues that we have going on. He was previously cleared of his 50-game suspension after he appealed. They did manage to pick up a couple of free agents. One of which was Cubs third baseman Aramis Ramirez, who will replace Casey McGee at third base, whom was traded to, as I said, to the Cincinnati Reds for pitcher Jose Veras, and they also did pick up shortstop Alex Gonzalez. The Brewers are coming off their best year in recent seasons, even though they did win the wild card a couple seasons ago. This is their first division win in a while. They did go all the way to the NLCS after beating the Arizona Diamondbacks, but before falling to the St. Louis Cardinals. I had the Brewers winning the NL wild card this season with a record of 85-77. I just feel like their starting rotation is so strong right now that it could be one of the best in the National League, along with Frankie Rodriguez and John Axford on the back end being your two platooning closers. My opening day lineup for the Brewers are going to be pitcher Sean Mark, catcher Jonathan Lucroy, first base you got Matt Gamble, second base you got Ricky Weeks, shortstop you got Alex Gonzalez, third base you got Ramirez, left of course you got Braun, center you got Niger Morgan and Corey Hart in right field. And finally, your defending World Series champions St. Louis Cardinals. I feel like their offseason, even though they did lose Pujols to the Angels, I feel like they still have a veteran leadership. Their starting rotation is very, very strong, and that they are going to, again, win the National League Central and possibly go on to win the World Series for 2 straight years. I got the Cardinals finishing in first place with an 86-76 record. In the offseason, they did pick up 4 free agents that will really help them. Pitcher Roy Oswalt, which is great to see for them. Skip Schumacher, Rafael Furcal, and right fielder Carlos Beltran. The Cards will again have a stellar lineup with Berkman, John Jay, Matt Holliday, David Freese. And the team will also have a good starting rotation with Oswalt, Carpenter, Garcia, Loesch, and Wainwright. I just feel like this team is so good all the time. They're starting to become like the Yankees where you know that they're going to be up there every season. My starting lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals this season is going to be pitcher Chris Carpenter, Yadier Molina behind the dish, Berkman at first, Schumacher at second, Furcal at short, Freese at third, Holliday in left, John Jay in center, and Carlos Beltran in right field. So there you go, guys. Just a review here. I got the Cardinals in first, Milwaukee second, Chicago third, Cincy fourth, Houston fifth, and Pittsburgh sixth. My next video, we're going to talk a little bit about who I feel could be in the Chicago Cubs bullpen this season and a couple other things. So stay tuned.